I'm Liam.
I'm also Liam. It's pretty confusing, but you know.
And we're both from UNILAD. So tonight we're going to focus on the creative side of the business. Or business, awkward, taboo word.
It is a taboo word.
But,
millennial.
It's hugely creative in what we do, and it's the key part of making us where we are today. So we want to really home in on that and maybe teach and educate a few people as to what we're doing.
We just want to teach people about our passions, which are, along with making like funny content, we like to make stuff on serious issues like homeless issues, education, and also like mental health.
Whatever's trending and relatable.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do.
Thank you.
So yeah, I think the question I asked is a really interesting place to start actually, because whilst we're here to talk about creative, it's actually the one problem within our company, which I'll call it now, that people suffer with, and it's how do you get an idea from the bottom to the top? And kind of the answer that I give is that we don't have a bottom to the top. I'm always there. I'm always there to talk to people. And Liam Bagnall here, who's our co-head of video, is always there to talk through the idea as well. And it's very easy, but I feel like the reluctance to answer here was a problem. And I don't want you guys here who are all creatives to, be going through your careers having that perfect idea and not being able to execute it. It's like the one thing that really, really fucking gets on my tits. And I hate it completely. And I'm just gonna quickly hand over to Bagnall here, because I feel like I gave him like an opportunity to go and fulfill his potential, and he's gone out there and absolutely killed it. So I'd like to just let him just take over for a minute.
So like basically, that's too loud. So back when Liam was in school, I started a battle rap company that traveled around the world doing different things. Liam was one of the people that watched my battle rap company. And 8 months ago, he asked me if I wanted to come forward and be the head of his video. So I came forward. We went for a meeting, and the Mass Million Man March was happening. It was like a protest for Anonymous against what was happening in Parliament. We went out and filmed it. The first day I went there, I had an interview. They said, "What do you want to film?" I said, "I want to film more realistic stuff that bothers me." So the other head of video, Chris Goodson, asked me if I wanted to go out, film a riot. We went out together, filmed it. Vice, BBC, and ITV were all trying to use our lighting and audio equipment to get their own story. So we kind of thought in our heads, this is an important situation. We need to do this right now. So we went home. We met at 2 a.m. We edited it, and by 5 a.m. we had it ready to release. I think we released it about 7 or 8. And by 12, we had 3.5 million views for something that people weren't reporting on. And while I might realize that our video wasn't 100% weighted in a way that shows a debatable prospect, everyone in the media was reporting the whole thing as people are being violent, people are doing stuff wrong. But what we saw when we were there was people getting beaten up by the police, or we saw very negative things happening. So we decided to make a video that would show a reflection of the halfway mark, and that got 4 million views in a day.
So perhaps with that, I'm answering my own question, which is how do you get an idea from the bottom to the top, which is just work in a company which is, feels like a group of friends creating content together. Because I was in the office at the same time, we managed to sit down, have a chat, and then we managed to get 3.5, 4 million views out at the same time. But yet no one kind of takes us seriously. It's UNILAD. God, you see all our videos all the time. They're funny, they're humorous, but we're trying kind of our best to maybe use our social skills and our social power for the better. Maybe we can educate, because people are taught from traditional media that they can't laugh 1 minute and then be educated the next. But how about we switch that around, and instead you laugh 1 minute and I reel you in, and that means I can educate you the next. And if I can do that, I'll do that all day long,
Definitely. I feel like it's a responsibility for us to actually display what matters to us to 15 million people. So at the same time that we can make people laugh with whatever we can make stuff that actually makes people think and do something different. So recently we made a documentary for Calm. It's a male suicide charity. And while like for me and Liam, we see like numbers like 500,000, and that's not a success rate for us, because generally we want to make 1 million views plus in a day. But at the same time, if you're making a video that has 500,000 people watching it, but every single comment on that is positive on the internet, that's kind of interesting. So like for us, like we feel the responsibility of having 50 million people following us. So we want to make stuff about like homeless issues, mental health issues, or like education issues, because for us, that's kind of important. And like we feel the responsibility of having 15 million followers to make us do that.
So I don't know the last time that people responded to a video about male suicide, which is the biggest killer of men under 40, and have 500,000 viewers on that, responding, engaging, communicating, talking together about this issue. I've never seen that before, and 500,000 to us is shit. It is really, really bad. We want to be getting 1 million, 2 million, 3 million views on every single video that we get, and we will do our best. So it feels like a failure. It feels like we have really done badly. Definitely. But in the broad scheme of things, it's not bad at all. But we are trying. We're trying to, we're trying to address the issue of homelessness. We shot a video. So we've got an office in London. We've got an office in Manchester. Manchester has editorial and video. London has commercial and video. Because let's face it, if you want to turn it into a business, without cash you can't create content, and without content you can't create cash. So. In Manchester, we shot a video about the issue of homelessness. And the moment we posted it, about 2 hours later, we got a comment into our inbox saying, hi, I've just seen my brother in your video. How have you got hold of him? I've been looking for him for about a week. And we put them in touch together. And we won't broadcast that, obviously, because they wanted to keep it private. But these are the kind of the little things that we're doing, and we're trying to use our social power for the better. And like I said, this is a video of homelessness. I'm sorry I can't show you it, but hopefully we'll go back and look at it. And then next to it, we've got a video that is 180 million views about a guy playing a game of like Buckaroo where pie will go into his face. I mean, it's sometimes hard to comprehend. And then next to that, we have a video where we went out to Norway and shot a video with the Marines.
So like when we did this video, we had we tried to make something that would impact the youth in our like generation. So we made a documentary that was about the education, mental health, war, and housing of people our age group. We asked 12-year-olds, how do you feel about this? We did a documentary about it, and the MOD hit us up like, how have you got 500,000 views or 600,000 views on Trident or stuff that people aren't reporting on? And we said, like, that's just something that interested us. We realized that we need to have a responsibility to our age group. So the next day, we got invited to go to fucking, pardon me, we got invited to we got invited to the Arctic Circle. So we had 40 hours to film with the Marines. We had to sleep in literal tents. One night, I had to sleep with the Marines, and like they had a 10-man tent, which means that you got a post in the middle, and 10 people have to sit all around that. I got to my tent. The Marine had stolen my backpack. So like straight away I was like, yo, has anyone got my backpack? The Marine was like, nah, it's fine. So like I was like, okay, I like the last 4 days I've experienced how bad it is for the Marines. So I'm just gonna lie here and like see how bad it is. And I was like laid next to the door. I got like the last tent that was available was mine. So like the last 10, it didn't have a zip. It was like, so like I thought in my head, like if I hold it like this, maybe it'll be okay, and maybe like I'll be able to see through this. So I fell asleep holding it like this. Obviously within 2 minutes, I'd done this. So I woke up, pneumonia, and the major was like, what are you being a little bitch for? What's wrong with you? I was like, no, I'm just cold. I'm really cold. It'll be fine. We just kept filming. So like generally, like if we get given a project, the idea is we want to make that shit as real as possible as it is when you're there on the day. And like when I was there with the Marines, they were like, yo, we can't talk to you. Like if you film me and I'm seen on the internet, then like my boss I'll have to buy my boss 6 kegs of lager. Like, that is the rule in the Marines. But like, part of our like job is to say, you know, like, we're not interested to film you saying, I'm in the Marines, it is really good. We want to hear about why it's hard. And we want to know by why you find it difficult to be in that. And that's why we want to make a documentary.
And let's face it as well, you know, they were really, really skeptical over what we were doing. Like, they didn't want to show us half the stuff that they were interested in because they thought we were going to try capture a video of one of them falling over and we were going to put it on the site.
I remember, like, one of the guys was
we got 5 of them.
The guy was like, yo, you've been hired to come out here and film me being naked. And that's it. I was like, no. We actually want to build a relationship with you. We actually want to film something that make a change. I don't want to, like, film you saying to me that, like, the Marines is bullshit. I want to hear why it's hard. I want to hear why you've done that.
But
and
like, I didn't actually go out on the trip, so it was Liam Bagnall and Chris Goodson, and they'd done the company, they'd done the brand really, really proud because they left there, and the MOD had the utmost respect for them, and they've sent them out on many different like boats and planes and all that, and it's been really incredible for you, I'm sure.
Definitely, but like, I think that's how we're different with the media. I remember, like, while we were out with the Marines, they said, you know, we just did something with Channel 4. And like, while we made it, we told them they can't release certain footage, but the next day they released all the footage with people who are like James Bond worthy on footage who should not be on footage. But at the same time, for us, we're not like interested in like making a quick profit off a random person. For us, we want to like build up like a relationship with people at all times. So when we make a documentary, not only are we making something that is factual to our generation, we're making it to people who will understand it. And even in, like, you know, off the back of that, we're like making stuff on Navy ships, we're doing stuff with the US Marine Corps, or we're doing anything else. But for us, it's just about telling honest stories about people who are lads or cool, you know, people who are like pushing the boundaries of what they should do as a human being. What's the next slide?
Oh, there you go. Look.
Oh, Predators.
So, again, talking about all the video content we produce and all this amazing stuff that we produce, are the people behind it. We give them a word, we give them a title, and like Bagnall came up to me one day and he was like, "Look, I've got this Predator I want to produce, I want to employ." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What the hell are you going on about, a Predator?" He was like, "Yeah, it's the producer, editor, and director." And I think this is a really kind of modern twist on creating video content now. Bagnall himself is a predator.
All right, mate. Sounds pretty rapey, but that's not like the vibe I'd like to take. So basically, I'm not a rapist, but like, so my career started in battle rap. But like, I made a documentary for like John Bon Jovi back in the day, and like generally, if you make a documentary, you might have a team of 30 people working on that. You've got like wire bashers, filmmakers, editors, directors, whatever. But instead of hiring a team of 30, we had a team of 3 people who were all predators. So we're all people that could produce, direct, edit, film, everything else. From the moment we landed in like New York, we had 10 days. From like the filming of the piece to the revealing of the piece. And like in that piece, we had to spend 5 days filming in like Camden, New Jersey. I remember being in like Camden. I don't know how much you know about Camden in New Jersey, but it's literally the worst area in the world. And I remember like at one stage, my producer turned around to me and he went, "You know, if stuff gets bad, there's a knife in the glove compartment." And like, I looked at him and I was like, "Yeah, like, I don't feel like I could stab someone right now. I don't think that is something that could happen." But from that, I learned the term predator, which is basically that you could do a team that 30 to 40 people could do in 3 or 4 people. And like, I went for a meeting with Liam, who's been like a long-term friend of mine, and I told him about this term, and he was like, "You know, that is what we're aiming for in UNILAD, is that people that aren't just faceted to one sort of like skill expertise, but people that could do everything." So in my team, I have like between like 15 and 20 people in the film team, but I have people that are hungry to like film, edit, direct, do whatever is needed in any second. And
oh, there you go. So then Bagnall comes in and then creates this incredible team, and there we go. Oh, amazing.
yes.
So,
Don't know them.
I think these are videos that didn't work.
No, that one's good.
That was good. That was a
Great documentary.
So that was a documentary with a homeless guy called Kevin O'Neill. Kevin O'Neill had just been released from prison. Chris Goodson had a video, befriended him, had known him for a while, admitted the murder of X person to him, but now he's creating, he's doing community projects, getting kids off the street and making sure they're doing the right thing. So we've done a documentary on him, and I think it's important that stories like his get out there, because no one else has got a voice for him. No one else from traditional media is going to pick up on what he does.
No, and at the same time, if like someone picks up that story, it's not going to be about like this guy. The story is going to be about how it's like valuable in some ways to that company. For us, we just want to make stories about people that are interesting to us. So at no point do we have any sort of like political background in the reason that we are choosing to make a video about.
Yeah. So like sometimes I have to justify myself with UNILAD. Common questions get asked, and sometimes it is just a numbers game that I have to respond with. You know, I get UNILAD is just for men, just a lads mag, to which I just have to respond. Look, with 50-50 male-female split, and you know, we've worked on that a lot. You know, it doesn't come overnight. UNILAD started with 65 male in favour of males, and we turned around, we sat and we had a little meeting, and we were like, look, can we go and create content or post content that's perhaps more, well, not swaying on the female side, but just not gender specific. So we did, and after a few months, we just saw that split was just becoming kind of more and more equal, and so that's what we've left it at. And I think that again, it's the only answer to my question of UNILAD is just for lads. It's not. It is 50-50 male-female.
But that's what's funny. I remember like I've got friends in America, and they were like, "Look where you guys are." When I searched my news feed, and like people that aren't involved with what is lad culture or whatever, within 2 searches on an American page, we were the first people there. I believe that like facts are we hit 1 in 5 people on the planet every single day. So like it's not just about like, I think people look at the UNILAD as like a title meaning you're a man in university. But like when you actually analyze it, so like 99% of the planet, the same like sense of the planet, they can't say GIFs, they say SIF, see us as the people that are like creating what youth culture is today, and that's what we're going to keep creating. Yeah,
I mean, the results for this month's video views came out on Tubular Labs today, and we got 1.5 billion video views this month, and that puts us second in the rankings in the world next to Tasty, which is obviously BuzzFeed's. Which is great. Did you enjoy it? Who laughed? Someone laughed. Yeah.
Does anyone want to laugh at what we said? Did we do good?
And I'm to be honest, I'm pretty chuffed with that being next like a channel which deals with food engagement.
But at the same time, both our names are Liam. That's confusing.
Absolutely, yeah, spot on. And look, those 1.5 billion views, 300 million of those views are original video now, and the rest of them are not. Again, another common question that I get asked is, you steal all your content from somewhere else, but we don't. We license it. We've had to grow up with the industry, and the industry now says you have got to license it, you've got to own it. So that's what we do. So the rest of the views have come from completely licensed and owned videos. So they're legit. They're 1.5 billion video views that everyone's enjoying every single month, and I'm pretty chuffed with that, to be honest. And you don't get there without having people in your team who are creative and who know exactly what you should be looking for. We are Gen Y. We are creating content for Gen Y because we are Gen Y, and this is what they want to look at.
Definitely.
So he is one of the top people to be looking and knowing
like
what we want.
even in the sense that like it's funny. So we made a video, a very ad campaign for Dirty Grandpa, and like their brief was we want to make an 85-year-old man do something crazy. So our heads immediately like went to an 85-year-old man rapping Stormzy on Carnaby Street, and we thought that would pop. And I remember talking to Liam, and he said, this won't do well. And before we got back to the office, it had like 2 million views on like BBC One Extra and everywhere else. But just generally, what we're like working towards is so different from anyone else. We're just trying to make like original content that people won't just take in, but like push it forward.
Yeah, look, I don't know how long we've been talking for. How long we got? We got 2 minutes. Okay, so like, I can't be asked to talk about the rest of like what we've got going on. We've got gaming, grub, tech, or whatever.
The future is bright.
I want to go back to the question that I answered myself, which is about how do you get your idea as a creative from the bottom to the top, which I promise you is the biggest problem that you will face if you work within a company. You have to work within a company where you get on with every single person within the hierarchy, because that person at the top is going to sign it off. You know, I guess essentially I'm the person who signs off, but even I get it wrong sometimes. Even I get it wrong with the Stormzy, with the campaign. But I'm willing to let it go. I'm willing to give it a go, because these people, like the video guys, like Liam Bagnall, are the people that I employ to make the decisions that are right, and he has done that for me. But frustratingly, and it is going to be a common problem within the industry, a lot of companies do not let that happen. So the reluctancy for people on here to answer that question was a bit frustrating, and I don't blame them. I know it's a question that is commonly asked, and it is a problem that everyone kind of has, I think.
Like, what's funny is like me and Liam both took risks that other people wouldn't take, but at the same time, everyone that I've ever worked with that I've trained up to film are the people that I hire today, and the people that are in accountancy are the people that Liam hires today. We've got a company where I'm one of the oldest people there. I'm 28, and like the head of accountancy is 21. The head of business is 24. We run a business where everyone is between 20 and 30, and everyone gets along.
We have a company.
There is no fucking like, pardon me. There is no like egotistical like political background. All that we do is like, one day we come to like a business where we're meant to be best friends, and we make shit happen. I
only realised this the other day that because our company is so young, we have a company of people who have taken the risk, who have gone against the grain and not done the grad schemes, and they've actually joined us, and they've kind of joined what like I believe in, and followed my passion for creating content, and they've aided it and they've helped it, and every part of the business is creative, even down to the financials. So yeah, I don't know why I got such a good laugh. It's a laugh of the night.
No, that's laugh of the night.
Trust me, if you want to get creative with the financials and not pay enough tax,
definitely,
it's pretty important.
My same friends that didn't care about battle rap are loving me over UNILAD.
There you go. Right, and I'm done.
Yo.
Good guys.